through the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? It's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another edition of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with Johnny Parlay and Jay Dash, ready for another exciting Friday night insight. And it is Friday this week, so you can't hate on me for it not being Friday.
Hate on you for it not being Friday.
Well, I got hated on for recording on Thursday one week.
I don't think you were hated on for it not being Friday, though.
Well, I got hated on for it being Thursday, so it wasn't Friday, so I got hated on for it not being Friday.
You got hated on for not recording a Friday night insight on Friday.
Well, it only matters when I post it.
Which is usually Saturday night.
Believe it. Well, what's the big topic this week?
Balls.
Shrinkage.
All that. I refuse
Flat.
to use that word because I'm just
Impotence.
sick of this. Any controversy now you have to add gate to the end of it. I refuse to say
yeah.
that. I'm done with it.
I was saying that to
Deflated
somebody the
balls
other day.
is the
Everything.
controversy.
Ever since Watergate, it's everything gate. You got Deflate Gate, you got Spy Gate, you got Watergate. It's everything gate. Everything.
Well,
Three.
I ain't
Three
using
things.
it. Oh, I could come up with a list if I had time, but I'm not using it. We're not using it here at The Spread. We're just saying deflated footballs, and is it a big deal?
Belichick's deflated balls.
I don't know.
Tom Brady likes soft balls.
Yeah, maybe Giselle has something we don't know about.
He loves gripping them.
I would think that, first off, I would think it'd be harder to use a lower inflated ball. I don't care what the weather is. It seems to me that you're using a regular ball your whole life, and now you're going to use one that's less deflated.
Well, actually, 3 years ago, there was an interview with Brady saying he likes a softer ball and a ball that has less air in it. He said he likes when Gronk scores because when he spikes it, seriously, some of the air comes out
Not when
after
it's
a while.
flat, but it's true.
Yeah.
If a ball's real hard and pumped up, it's
It's hard
harder.
to grip. In
Yeah.
cold weather, wet weather, it's really hard to grip.
And
it
also-
feels like a rock when you catch it.
All the New England fans came out and said that, well, LeGarrette Blount ran all over him, so they still would have won the game. It's
Yeah.
a lot easier to carry a deflated ball, too.
I don't think that the ball won the Patriots the game. I don't think it gives you that
anyone-
much of an
No
advantage.
one thinks that.
But it's cheating,
It is.
and the Patriots are habitual cheaters. And I don't know if you guys know this. Before Spygate broke, there was an inside story with the NFL. They knew the Patriots were taping. They went to them, all hush-hush, told them to quit it. They didn't want a controversy. They didn't quit, and then that's why the Jets outed them.
I just don't get why they keep looking for all these edges. Like, they're clearly good enough to win without all these advantages. I don't know why they... I mean, if they're getting caught like this twice in, 5 years, maybe more? I mean, what else are they doing that's not getting caught?
Yeah, I 100% agree.
It blows my mind. Like, I just don't get the mindset up there. Like, me, for one, even as a young parlay, and me and my dad, we'd go down to the basketball courts. I didn't want him to let up. Papa Parlay, if I'm driving the lane, stuff it. Stuff me right in my face. I don't care. I don't get how you can feel good after winning when you know you had an advantage like that.
It's a bunch of BS.
Blows my mind.
Jim, I thought you'd love it. Isn't this your motto?
Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura, baby, for president.
Follow
Not
us.
really.
Follow us, body.
But I don't know. Dash, you said it best, I think, when you said to me the other day
Tom
that
Brady likes to grip balls.
that the Patriots have now made how many seasons just irrelevant of the NFL.
Illegitimate.
These scandals are just a bunch of crap. It makes
Other
no
teams
sense.
have done it. The
Oh,
Broncos
trust
have
me.
cheated.
I believe it. The Steelers of the 70s used to do steroids all the time, and I know everybody was on steroids, but it was still cheating.
They were just ahead of their game. Everybody does it now.
That's right. We knew what we were doing in the 70s. Pump them roids.
Not everybody's cheating like the Patriots are right now.
And now, somebody said that it was bad sportsmanship, that's all. It's not just bad sportsmanship. It's cheating. And now say you're a basketball player, okay? Even if me and us three are playing a game, maybe Jay Payne or JK47, a little 2-on-2 here. If the ball hits you and goes out of bounds and I'm like, oh no, it hit me, man, it's cool, it's your ball. Are you going to take the ball or are you going to tell me it hit you? No, you're just going to take the ball. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. But when you intentionally try to do something to get an edge, to win a game,
I don't get it. I just don't get how you can feel good about yourself after knowing that you did something to your advantage that the other team wasn't able to do.
Now tell me this: if you're a cheater at work, but you get to go home and bang Giselle, is that how you feel good about yourself? Does that smooth it over?
I mean, maybe Brady didn't know. Honestly, I mean, although I did see Mark Brunell on ESPN almost in tears, saying he felt betrayed. He felt the game was betrayed, and he said any quarterback would know the slightest difference in a ball. So.
Baltimore came out and said that they felt like the same thing happened to them.
Well, Brad
Who knows
Johnson,
what those criminals are going to say, though.
Brad Johnson admitted the day after Deflategate broke that he paid somebody $7,500 in the Super Bowl that Tampa Bay was in to scuff up the balls or doctor the balls in some way, but he paid them to do it to every ball, including the other teams. So nobody had one advantage over the other. He just got the balls the way he liked it. Do you guys think that's as bad as, only deflating yours to try to gain an advantage? And I do realize I said balls like 4 times.
It's just anything you're going to do that you're not supposed to do, don't do it. And I mean, you got to think the league should just provide the balls from here on forward, right?
I don't understand how the refs aren't the ones who control the footballs.
Yeah, I learned something.
What I've got from it is that the refs check the balls around 2.5 hours before the game.
Yeah.
And then they just
Give 'em
put
to
them
the
on
team.
the sidelines, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're not looking at them. So they really do you need a guard for the balls?
And now I've heard conflicting reports that said DeQuell Jackson is what got the ball rolling when he got that interception and then took it to the sideline and gave it to one of his equipment managers. But then when I was
He came out and
listening,
said that wasn't even the case.
yeah, that's what I was listening to the fan today, and he said that wasn't how he gave it to the guy because it was an interception in an AFC Championship game, and he just wanted the souvenir.
But then he got it home in its glass case, and it was deflated, and he
It
said,
did.
something's fishy
That's
here.
it. But I also heard.
Well, yeah.
Listen, hold on. I also heard that the Colts thought the same thing when they played New
That's
England
what I was
earlier
gonna
in the
say.
year, and that they alerted the NFL prior to this game
Yeah.
so that the refs intentionally checked them at halftime because of that. And then at halftime, the deflated balls were taken out of play. So the Patriots had backup new footballs for the second half, and that's when they scored all their points to go on to win the game. That's why I don't think the deflated balls gave them the advantage, but it was still cheating.
See, someone actually told me that the balls were deflated at halftime. So what you just told me is a surprise to me. I thought it was they deflated the balls at halftime.
No, they were deflated during the first half. The refs, this is just what I heard. I obviously wasn't there. They were deflated for the first half. The refs checked them at halftime, realized they were deflated, brought new balls in for New England, and then took the deflated balls out of the rotation.
What was the halftime score?
17-7, I believe.
So
If not 24-7.
No, I don't think it was that much. I think New England scored 30 points in the second half.
So if everything was equal in the second half and they blew them out, what's the big deal then? If that's the true story, what you just told me, and the way the second half was played, I thought
Just
it was,
because they intentionally cheated is the problem. They
yeah,
intentionally tried to gain an
cheating's
advantage.
always
Like I said,
ridiculous.
Don't cheat. Like I said, a little
Vince
parlay.
McMahon doesn't
ain't
run this
taking it.
league, okay?
No. If you want to win as a cheater, that's going to be your legacy. So
Well, I think
I
that
don't
is
know.
the Patriots' legacy. Even if they win the Super Bowl, to me, people aren't going to let Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens into the Hall of Fame because they did steroids. I wouldn't vote Belichick or Brady into the Hall of Fame because they're a bunch of cheaters.
well, that's going to be their legacy. And I mean, just league provided balls from here on forward. And I say suspend Brady for
Yeah,
the
what
first
kind of
game
punishment
next
do you
season.
think they should have? I think
You can't do it for the Super Bowl. There's no way Goodell's
No.
going to let that fly.
no, you're not going to.
Game 1 next year, suspend Brady for the game. Even though
Listen,
it wasn't on
Well, there's
him,
gonna
maybe
be
you got to make it
Draft
hurt.
picks and fines.
Draft picks, who cares?
I'm
I
going
say.
further
Well,
than
when
that.
you
Listen.
cheat, what do draft picks mean? You don't even need draft picks if you're
Right.
cheating during the game to win.
I don't like a draft because half draft picks turn into busts anyway. So you get to hurt them where it hurts, and I'd say suspend Brady for the first game, just because he's the quarterback.
You know
he
what-
knows.
You know what I
He knows
want to
what's
see?
going on.
I'd like to see them say New England cannot make the playoffs for the next 4 years.
See, they're not the NCAA, but that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
They bring in
Realistically, what I would do if I'm Roger Goodell, I'm fining the Patriots organization because they're
Flippity-do.
letting this happen. Just hold on.
Okay. Well, that's
I'm fining the Patriots organization.
Whatever.
I'm suspending Bill Belichick for the whole entire season. If Sean Payton gets suspended for Bountygate for the whole season, Payton
Oh, there's
said
another gate for you.
Payton
Very-
said he didn't know it was going on. Roger Goodell's reply to that was, ignorance is not an excuse. So Belichick cannot say he didn't know the balls weren't deflated. Ignorance is not an excuse. So Belichick needs to be suspended for the whole season.
Two, and I'm still not happy with it.
Okay,
What else?
Brady, suspended first 4 games of the year.
Get it.
Do not take draft picks away. Take salary cap room away.
Get it.
Hit them where it hurts. When they find Dallas and Washington because they treated that uncapped year as a real uncapped year, the NFL fined them because they had inside notion, all the other teams, to not do that, to drive up the cap the next year. They fined them and took salary cap room away. They lost $30 million in salary cap. Hit them with that. 4 years. You lose $30 million off your cap room for the next 4 years.
Well, everyone's going to be rooting Seattle now, I think.
The only problem I have with that is unless you find evidence that Tom Brady was directly involved in this, you can't really suspend him. How do you point him out of everybody else?
Every NFL quarterback who's been interviewed on this topic says that the quarterback knows their balls, their footballs. They get to, you know what I mean, prepare them for the game.
Well, Dan Marino actually came out against that and says he would not know the difference between those two arms.
Dan Marino went to Pitt, so I wouldn't be surprised that he wouldn't know the difference.
Well, who was the one that came out and said that first? It was Mark Brunell. What's Mark Brunell know?
I didn't hear anything about Mark Brunell.
I seen him. He was.
Well, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying I didn't see that one.
He was in tears. He said, "This is our livelihood." And he had a ball in his hand.
I'll tell you what, when I was a cook for 10 years, if I tried to serve a burger and it was raw in the middle, I didn't even have to cut into it. I just knew.
Right on. Well,
just
someone else who had balls in hand was Marshawn Lynch, and he got fined.
Oh, he
so
was
what's up
hanging
with
on
that?
to his own balls. Were his balls deflated or inflated?
Way to lead that in.
What
that was
is
nice.
up with that? I mean, this dude gets fined for waking up on the wrong side of the bed.
You know why I think they fined him, or why he did it? They told him that they were going to suspend him for that game if he wore those cleats with the gold bottoms. So he was pissed. So after he scored the touchdown, he gave him the Michael Jackson hee
yeah,
right to their face.
I like this guy more every week.
I love him, dude. I love him.
I tell you what,
I don't care that he doesn't talk to the media.
If you get fined for grabbing your balls in baseball, everybody would be claiming bankruptcy.
Somebody said that earlier on the Fan too, and Ron Cook was on. And he said it's totally different. You're just kind of adjusting yourself in baseball. And this was an obvious FU to the NFL.
Parlay's been known to do some adjusting himself.
Hey, you need to.
I can't be affording to pay anyone any money for doing that. You know, it's a part of life.
If you got fined every time you adjusted yourself at work, you'd definitely be in bankruptcy.
I'm telling you, I wear holes in the crotch. But, I mean, you can't... They just like to find this guy. I mean... Think about how many times they cut to on-field mics and the things these dudes are saying.
Oh, I know.
F-bombs showered down. Like, you're not going to find guys for that.
They don't find refs for blowing calls.
No. They just are hating on
Fail
Lynch.
Mary.
Marshawn Lynch is the rock star of the league. I say more power to you, Lynch. You should crowdfund your fines from now on. I'll throw down 20 on that.
What's going to happen next week when he's required to talk to the media for Super Bowl Media Week? Is he going to refuse and get fined again, or is he going to do where he sits there and just says one-word answers to everything? He repeats the same word, like, okay, yes.
He'll do his thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. But
if he doesn't want to talk to the media,
Lynch, follow us and be a guest on our show. Talk to the spread.
Please believe we'll let you say whatever you want. We don't really give a crap.
No holds barred.
You want to say the NFL sucks on this show? Blast them, Lynch. We're all for it, even though I love the NFL. Sorry, Roger Goodell.
Well, Seattle, either way, that game is going to be, it's going to have a lot of equal money, I think, on both sides of the ball. It's in a pick right now, but it's been everywhere from, it came out as Seattle -1.5, and it got up to Seattle +1.5. It's been all over the place, but right now it's a pick, and I think it'll be a pick come next Sunday.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed at pick the whole time.
No one knows
it's a tough game. This is 2 number 1 seeds. That's the first time that's happened in a while. I don't think Denver was number 1 seed last year.
No clear favorite in this one.
And, you know, New England has a good defense, but they won with offense, and Seattle won with defense. I mean, this is this marquee matchup, and it's funny because we're all sitting here talking about D-Gate.
Yeah.
Nobody's even talking about this great matchup we got, even though I hate both teams. And I just want to mention on the air that I don't want Brady to have 4 and I don't want Wilson to have 2, because under my motto, if freaking Wilson gets 2, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
and if Brady gets 4, he matches Terry Bradshaw. And I don't want either one of those to happen. So quite honestly, I hope they both get hurt on the first snap and the backups get the Super Bowl win.
So you.
Well, how about what if for D-Gate, Tom Brady gets suspended and then New England wins with
Garofalo?
Jimmy Garoppolo. I'd love Garoppolo to get one. He's the man.
Garoppolo.
Dude gets mad tail up in Boston. I see all these reports about him out there partying. He's like the Johnny Manziel of the Patriots, but nobody cares because they're too busy
Tom
watching
Brady goes down
Brady
in the
play with
game
his
and
balls.
can't finish the game out, and he comes in and wins. Brady doesn't get that.
Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, not to me. He'll still get a ring.
I mean, he gets a ring, but that doesn't count.
No,
you can't.
None of them should count because he's cheated to get all of them.
Obviously,
he should have 0.
Big Ben's first loss of his career was because of cheating.
Yes. Oh man, I can't believe you just pointed that out to me. I knew that, but
You're gonna hate to the extent that you ain't even gonna watch this game.
F that, dude. I'm gonna have money on this game. I mean, boxes of ZD on this game.
Boxes of ZD.
You going to Vegas, dude?
Have you decided
who I'm going to take?
Yeah. Because we're going to have a pick show next week, and we'll reveal our Super Bowl picks along with some props.
Can I do an over-under teaser?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Well, because you're the professional researcher on this topic.
Are you asking me, is that allowed?
Yeah. That's what I'm not asking you if you're going to take it. I'm asking you, is that something I can take?
Well,
is there
you
somebody
have to have
who would take
2
that?
picks in a teaser. So
yeah, I want the over and the under.
Tease. So you want to tease the over up and take over, and tease the under down and take under? Yeah. You might. I'm sure any good bookmaker will take that one. Because I don't know how you're going to win both of those.
I'm going to win them all because I am the king.
But on our pick show next week, we're going to pick that game, obviously, and we're going to do a bunch of prop bets. So if y'all want to listen, put in the comment sections. You can play along at home. We'll hear your prop bet picks because we're going to make all kinds of crazy props.
What happened to last week's picks we made?
I think that show was stricken from the record.
I think I won a game. I think you won one too, didn't you, Jim?
No, it was Easy and Jay Dash were winners last week, taking Green Bay.
Yeah.
So
that's it though. There was some teasers in there.
I think
all the teasers involved Indy though, and they did nothing.
Yeah. No, they did not show up. That's for sure.
Jim, did you take New England straight up?
No, I took Indy in that game.
Okay. Well, you're beat.
My third pick, though, was a Green Bay Indy teaser, and I lost that, too.
That's right. So your bonus pick.
Yeah, so you guys hated on me. Oh, you're going to get money. And then I
lost.
lost.
Everything and you lose anyway.
I just lost, dude. It's all right. I just like to pick. It's more fun.
Well, we had to pick more, too, and we lost with those.
Good.
But listen to the pick show. It's going to be wild next week on the pick show.
We're actually going to have good picks for you.
Yeah, we are. We only got 1 week left to do it, so nice little lead in.
What about the game this week? Your favorite game of the year, Parlay. Aren't you going to this game?
The Over Bowl.
The Over Bowl.
All-Star Gate. I don't care what. I'm so sick of these All-Star games. They're just video games. None of these dudes care.
Were they more fun when we were kids because you didn't, you didn't really know the game as well as we do now? Or were they just better games?
I can't decide because I know back in the day I thought it was more interesting and I was more into it. I was excited for All-Star games, but
I loved the Pro Bowl when I was a kid. Hockey All-Star games were awesome. The skills competition in hockey is still fun.
I think players cared more back in the day. Do you remember a few years ago when they had the one game and everybody was furious with it because people were just jogging around? Dude, it looked hilarious.
I think so too.
Out there.
I think we're manlier men back in the day and they cared. I mean, Pete Rose ended a dude's career.
Teams also want to keep their
truth. It's true. It's true, bro.
I know.
Nowadays,
it's good stuff.
Teams want to keep their players healthier than they used to,
and
too.
Players are so beat up over the season.
Players are investments now. They used to just be badass dudes who wanted to play.
Another thing, and it's not the only reason, but back in the day, even the stars didn't get paid millions and millions of dollars, and the Pro Bowl was a bonus check. Yeah. So they needed that bonus check. They wanted it. Now, even, rookie minimum's close to $1 million a year.
Well, I won't be watching this one. I'll just be taking the over.
Well, let me say this, too. Like you said, the teams want their players to be healthy. The players are beat up. The quarterbacks for this game, the Pro Bowl quarterbacks, okay? For team who gives a crap with whoever's running this team, I don't care. It's Romo, Ryan, and Stafford. Romo had a good year. I'll say he's a Pro Bowl quarterback.
No doubt.
That's cool. I don't think Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford had Pro Bowl years. They have in the past. Not this year.
Definitely Matt Stafford. Matt Ryan, I'll give it to him. There weren't too many good quarterbacks. I mean, Ben, he's not going, so you need to put someone else in there. I think they put Breeze in for him.
Yeah, well, on the other side, Team Carter, they had Andrew Luck, Drew Brees, and Andy Dalton. I'm all right with Luck and Breeze. Breeze tied Ben for the league lead in passing yards. Luck is Andrew Luck. We all know he deserves it. But Andy Dalton,
he's
like the 6th or 7th alternate. He's literally like the 12th to 16th best quarterback in the league, and he gets into the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
it's pathetic.
Joke. It's like putting parlay in a mathematician contest, a mathletics tournament.
He's a mathlete, not an athlete.
The problem I have with it is Drew Brees shouldn't even be on that team.
I agree. If your team ain't 500, what are you doing in the Pro Bowl?
No, I'm just saying NFC shouldn't be playing with AFC. It makes no sense.
Well, they mix them all up now. They have
terrible.
Well, they had Carter and Michael Irvin, I think, this year. Yeah, 2 drug addicts pick their Pro Bowl team. Right? They pick like the D line and the O line, I think, maybe even the tight ends. But then they name a captain, or they pick maybe 1 or 2 skill players. They name a captain and then let them pick the rest. So the real captains of the team don't even pick the whole team. It's like when you're the captain of backyard football, you pick the first 2 good players and then you don't feel like picking the rest, so you just tell somebody else to do it and walk away. It's pathetic.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks to being picked last.
Well, I think last year was the first year they did that. They started out with Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders, 2 all-time players. The second year, they're down to Chris Carter and Michael Irvin. What's it going to be next year?
It's going to be Tommy Maddox and Ryan Leaf are going to be the 2 team captains.
Like, where's it go from here?
It's ridiculous. I don't give a crap about Carter or Irvin, dude. Seriously.
Nah, drug addicts, like you said.
They're just going to go out and blow some yay in the tunnel.
Just have a softball game, all right?
Yeah, that's it.
Just have a charity softball game.
Name an all-pro team and move along.
That's right. All Madden team.
Donate a small amount, maybe $5,000 to that person's charity. Romo tells them what charity they want to give that. These players don't need that money anymore. They don't need those game checks. Do something. Make it look good.
Well, if they weren't paying them, it would look even worse.
Yeah. It's pathetic. It's serious. We played harder backyard football on Thanksgiving when I broke my collarbone.
That's right. I remember that game. I had big money on your team too, and then you went out early.
I went out on like the 3rd play of the game, and I just drank a Long Island iced tea.
Y'all didn't even cover.
And we did not cover.
And it stayed under. You guys played so terrible.
It was bad. My backup quarterback
football ruined my life.
He was worse than Brucey in the longest yard. You know what, Dash? You had fun when you played. Just because your chest pops really loud every time you stretch, and it sounds like one of your ribs are about to snap, that doesn't mean it ruined your life.
I don't think it's a rib. I think it's cartilage.
Wow,
your sternum is compromised.
Another All-Star game.
We're going to need to get Brandon in here to fix your sternum.
The other All-Star game that's about to go down as the NHL All-Star game.
Believe that. That's kind of interesting.
A little bit,
It's a little better than the other ones.
You can't really go at half speed in hockey. I mean, the skates won't allow you.
Nobody fights, but
we got Crosby and Malkin not playing, and so they have to sit out the next game. Yet there's some bogosity.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Bogus. It's absolutely bogus. But I was just thinking of the Pens because Dejan Kovacevic, a local writer around here, wrote that the Flyers sat down and game planned to start fights in that game last week, and that was their game plan. They're sitting down at a steakhouse and discussed that. Isn't fighting part of hockey anyway? I mean, I know they talk about getting rid of it and everything, but I think it's part of the game.
I love fighting in hockey, and if the Flyers, premeditated those fights, that's a bunch of BS. Was the game in Philly? If it was in Philly, I wouldn't even believe they were at a steakhouse. I would have just thought they were eating some Philly cheesesteaks. That's all.
They were down at Pat's.
Oh, so okay. So they're downtown.
But
they premeditate these fights. They go out, and then they try to start a ruckus. It's just typical Flyers hockey, man. That's all they've ever been.
It worked. They won the game.
The Flyers haven't won the Cup in like 40 years. I mean, honestly, we've never even seen the Flyers win the Cup. Have you ever seen the Flyers win the Cup? Because I haven't.
Well, I used to play NHL '94, and they beat me in the finals.
I believe that.
So that was tough for young Parlay. I think that was after we were at the me and my Papa Parlay were shooting hoops, and he was stuffing me, which I appreciate.
So you go inside and you try to play.
I was like, I gotta win something.
Play Sega,
today.
yeah,
I gotta win something today.
And then you lose at that too.
But
it's brutal. That's a
Lindros
rough
was
life.
a beast.
Then, yeah, the next day he's beating you and shoving pine cones in your mouth, huh?
that's the life of parlay.
Man, that's...
Papa Parlay.
That's
I know
why-
the super genius is not a fan of fighting in hockey,
No, he doesn't like it.
but I mean, I think someday it probably will be gone because something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna hit their head on the ice, and that'll be it.
Well, Bertuzzi, remember a couple years back? It was probably almost 10 years now,
Criminal.
actually. He
Straight up
just
criminal.
straight blasted that dude and then drilled him into the ice.
Didn't he like break his neck or something?
Yeah, they filed criminal charges. Recently the case wrapped up, but I don't remember what the...
That dude's a straight criminal.
Yeah. He's on the all-thuggery. We need a
Criminal.
hockey all-thuggery team
Yeah.
and a baseball all-thuggery team.
Oh,
Pete
that'd
Rose
be
can be the
fun.
captain of that.
How about basketball? The
Oh my
They're
the
all
entire
thugs.
league.
called
that-
the NBA.
yeah. It should just be called the Thug BA.
But either way, they got the Pens off their game. Pens have been off their game here for
Yeah, they've been struggling the last couple of
stretch.
weeks.
But I think that All-Star break will be a nice, literally, break for them. I
Yeah.
think they'll get it together. I think it's a good thing Crosby and Malkin will sit out.
And, I want to mention this, too. Fleury made the All-Star game after not making the originally. A couple guys backed out, so he gets in there. Fleury deserved to be voted in, first of all,
No doubt.
when they were doing the votes the first time. But somebody had said that it would be good for Fleury to sit out and rest a little bit. I kind of agree with that, but I also think that his confidence has been struggling lately, the last couple years. It's not his play. We all know he physically can still do it. We've seen him make these amazing saves and play an amazing in these long stretches. It was always the mindset. I think getting voted into the All-Star game and getting to go play in that game is good for him. Now it's in his head, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got it back. I'm in my groove.
Right
I can
on.
it means a lot. Your mentality as a goaltender is a lot. If you get something in your head, man, it's like batting in baseball, Dash. You know this. If you get it in your head that you're slumping or there's something wrong with your swing, then something happens and you start dipping your shoulder or leaning or stepping wrong. And you got to find your groove in goaltending.
If he decides to sit out, then this first game after the break is going to
It's a
look like
loss.
garbage.
Yeah. It's a good thing he's going. But Malkin and Crosby are hurt anyway, so I don't know if they'd have been able to play that game. So, but they've been struggling. The
Joke's on
Pens-
you, Bettman. I know that Jay Dash ain't a big fan of Gary Bettman's.
Since what was it? I think since Crosby came to the team, or no, since the Cup year, since the Penguins Cup year, they've lost over 1,400 man games to injuries.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Pascal Dupuis has 1,300 of those.
Poor Duper. Mata's probably out for the year. I think he is out for the year. Letang's out with a concussion again. Crosby, Malkin's out. So we just need to keep our head above water.
Injury gate.
Yeah, it is. We got to stay around second, third place in the East. Maybe second place in the Metro Division. And just make the playoffs. Get everybody healthy and then get in your groove. We've dominated the regular season before and then lost in the first round.
Yeah, they're currently fourth in the conference, so they're sitting pretty right now, even with all the injuries. And I
Yeah.
think earlier in the year I said, what will the over-under games above 500 will they be? And I think I said 8 or something. They're 20 games over 500 right now. So.
Yeah, the beginning of the year, they were dominating. Their power play was clicking at like 30-something%. That's been struggling lately. I don't know what they're going to do to fix that. I don't like the two superstars on the power play at the same time. You put Crosby and Malkin out on the ice. They both want to play the same position. So then you always have somebody out of position. They're not comfortable. They're not happy. Go to 2 power play units. I understand it's not the norm, but most teams don't have 2 of the top 5 players in the whole world on their team. Build 2 solid units. We have the talent for that. Especially on the back end with the D-men.
Yeah, you got 2 minutes. Split it up. I think half of 2 is 1.5 or 1.
You might want to
2?
get the abacus out of your car.
It's 1, I think.
It's 1.
So yeah, minute each, and
That's
just
right.
bring it. And I mean, unless you're in
Even
the
if-
zone the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a set time. You can just use both units, whatever you feel is going to be better. One's probably going to be a little more skilled compared to another one that's going to be a little bit more of a grinder because it's not like you have 9 top 6 forwards. But it would work, and it would work better because Crosby would be happy, Malkin would be happy. It's not Unit 1 and Unit 2. It's just 2 different units.
Anyway, you look at it, it's not time to panic. It's just
Not even
all-star
close.
break time.
Yeah.
We'll be back with a fury.
It's good. Rest, get relaxed, get healthy, and get back to your game. Not Dan Baalsma's game, though.
That's it.
Stop getting mumps.
Yeah, the mumps doesn't help.
Well, no pick of the week, but Parlay got a tip of the week for y'all. because there's no game to pick this week. But here's my tip of the week, y'all. Don't buy cheap pens, all right? I'm sick of cheap pens. The rule of thumb is if it has a cap, it's cheap. Get one with a depressor and a nice gel point, you know? Because probably does a lot of writing, and you got to have not cheap pens, y'all. Splurge for the pens.
Well, I don't know. I like pens with caps because when I put them in my shirt, I don't have to worry about them writing in my pocket.
Well, you would like cheap pens.
I don't want cheap ones. I just want nice ones with a cap.
So what's your tip of the week? Nice ones with a cap?
No, I don't. I like your tip of not having cheap ones. I just like nice ones with a cap. That's all. I don't totally disagree. I hate cheap pens. My tip of the week is don't buy cheap batteries because I keep putting in my Wii remote to play Tiger Woods golf, and by the time I'm done with the Masters tournament, I got to put another set in. It's garbage.
Rechargeables, my friend.
Big Easy doesn't know how to use rechargeables.
Oh,
he lost his mind the one day I told him to plug it into the wall.
I'd love to hear a Big Easy tip of the week life lesson.
Drink beer.
That's
E3
Is that him or is he in here somewhere? Because I think that would be it, dead on.
We'd be hearing beer open behind us if he was here. Well, I want to thank you fans for tuning in to another great episode of The Spread. Thank you guys for coming in. Parlay, I know you're on a time frame today. We finished just in time for you. Deflategate's going to keep going on. Brady's balls are going to keep shrinking. Fans, keep on listening.
Big game next week.
Peace.